Ja, så er det greit av gårde. Dwayne Chambers raskest ut her og har ledelsen på Lemaitre. Og Dwayne Chambers is going to win this for Great Britain. Lemaitre comes on second half here.
This fastest white sprinter just stunned the world with another record-breaking run. Who is this young sprinter, and could he be the next Usain Bolt? Let's take a closer look. The world of sprinting witnessed history when Christophe Lemaitre became the first white athlete to break the 10-second barrier in the 100 meters. His time of 9.98 seconds in 2010 didn't just break records. It shattered perceptions about what was possible in sprint athletics. From a shy teenager who struggled in school sports to an Olympic medalist, Lemaitre's story challenges everything we thought we knew about sprinting.
Na poprvé se vše podařilo, výteční start měl Richard Thompson v páté dráze, také Asafa Pavel a Usain Bolt nedotahuje Asafa Pavel nebo Usain Bolt jde před Asafu Pavla.
Born in Annecy, France in 1990, Lemaitre's early years gave no hint of his future success. He faced bullying in school and was often picked last for sports teams. Everything changed at age 15 when he attended a local sports festival in Belly. His natural speed caught the eye of coach Jean-Pierre Nair, beginning a journey that would revolutionize sprint athletics. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, Lemaitre defied traditional sprinting wisdom. Most elite sprinters are shorter, using their compact frames for explosive starts. But Lemaitre and his coaches developed a unique technique that turned his height into an advantage. His long stride, combined with exceptional finishing strength, created a new model for sprint success.
Ja, så er det greit av gårde. Dwayne Chambers raskest ut her og har ledelsen på Lemaitre. Og Dwayne Chambers is going to win this for Great Britain. Lemaitre comes on second half here.
The breakthrough came at the 2010 French Championships. His time of 9.98 seconds made global headlines, but Lemaitre remained focused on performance rather than the attention his achievement garnered. He said, "I don't like to be called the first white man to break 10 seconds. I'm just an athlete, and I want to be recognized for my work and performances." His success continued with an unprecedented triple gold at the 2010 World Championships, winning the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100 meters relay. This performance proved his sub-10-second run wasn't a fluke. He could compete consistently at the highest level, facing off against legends like Usain Bolt and maintaining his composure on the biggest stages. The period from 2010 to 2020 showcased Lemaitre's remarkable consistency and resilience. After his historic 9.98 in 2010, he continued to improve, setting a new French record of 9.92 seconds in 2011. That same year, he achieved another milestone by breaking the 20-second barrier in the 200 meters, running 19.80 at the World Championships in Daegu to win bronze.
Pas de faux départ. Christophe Lemaitre bien parti. Martial Bonjoc qui revient. Christophe Lemaitre devant. Christophe Lemaitre devant. Christophe Lemaitre qui va s'imposer. 9,99. Le vent est régulier.
C'est lancé. Regardez de profil, c'est magnifique. Le retour du pied sous la fesse. Ce pied qui va chercher l'appui devant et ensuite...
2012 brought both triumph and challenge. He successfully defended his 100-meter title in Helsinki with 10.09 seconds. At the London Olympics, he made the strategic decision to focus on the 200 meters and 4x100 meters relay. Though he finished 6th in the 200 meters, he secured bronze in the relay, marking his first Olympic medal. This period showed his ability to perform under immense pressure on the biggest stage.
Ja, så kom det gårde. En kjapp start på Dasaolu i bane 3. Holder han helt inn da, det kan se sånn ut. Og så kommer de to jamaicanske løperne. Og Lemaitre også.
The 2013 to 2014 seasons demonstrated his championship mentality. Despite losing his French 100-meter title to Jimmy Vico in 2013, he reached the World Championship final in Moscow. In 2014, he became the most decorated athlete in World Championship history, winning silver in both sprints and bronze in the relay, bringing his total to 8 gold medals. Injuries began to impact his career from 2015 onwards. At the Beijing World Championships, he failed to advance past the semifinals in both sprints. However, 2016 marked a stunning comeback when he captured Olympic bronze in the 200 meters in Rio, finishing behind only Usain Bolt and Andre de Grasse with a time of 20.12 seconds. The 2017 to 2020 period saw Lemaitre battle through various setbacks. Despite injuries, he continued competing at the highest level. His resilience showed in 2020 when he won the unique Inspiration Games 200-meter event during the pandemic, beating both Noah Lyles and Chirandi Martina. Each comeback demonstrated his exceptional mental strength and dedication to the sport. His technical evolution through these years was fascinating. Coaches worked to maximize his unusual height advantage, developing a stride pattern that allowed him to maintain speed through the finish line. This adaptation helped him remain competitive even as new sprint talents emerged. The true impact of Lemaitre's achievements extended far beyond his medals and times. His consistent performances in major championships showed remarkable progression. At the 2011 World Championships, he not only broke the 20-second barrier, but also claimed silver in the 4x100-meter relay. His time of 19.80 in the 200 meters made him the second fastest white sprinter in history, behind only Pietro Menea's 19.72. His championship tactics evolved with experience. In Diamond League meetings between 2011 and 2015, he regularly competed against and sometimes beat the world's best. Notable victories included beating Asafa Powell in Rome and competing stride for stride with Usain Bolt in Paris. Each race refined his technique and built his reputation as a championship performer.
C'est important et il est plutôt pas mal parti. Il est plutôt pas mal parti, Christophe Lemaitre. Mais ça aussi, c'est la zone entre les 60 et 80 mètres. Johan Blake. Oh, ça va être difficile. Ça va être chaud. Chambers n'est pas dans la course.
2016 marked perhaps his finest moment at the Rio Olympics. The 200-meter final showcased everything that made Lemaitre special: his perfect race execution, strong finish, and ability to perform under pressure. His bronze medal was decided by just 0.003 of a second over Adam Gamili, demonstrating his racing instinct. Usain Bolt personally congratulated him after the race, saying he was proud of the Frenchman's achievement. The challenges mounted from 2017 to 2020, with injuries testing his resilience. A torn hamstring in 2017 forced him to modify his training approach. Yet he continued competing at the highest level, adapting his race strategy to manage his body while maintaining competitiveness. Even during the pandemic-affected 2020 season, he showed his class by winning the Inspiration Games 200 meters. His impact on international sprinting was transformative. Before Lemaitre, sub-10 seconds seemed an impossible barrier for white sprinters. His success inspired a new generation, including Jimmy Vico, who later broke Lemaitre's French record. The technical innovations developed to maximize his unusual height became a blueprint for tall sprinters worldwide. Do you think Lemaitre's achievements changed the future of sprinting? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.
His name is Guot. It's supposed to be G-U-O-T. When I see people call Guot Guot, I'm not really happy for it.
Guot Guot's father finally breaks his silence, and the revelation shocks everyone. The name of the young Australian running sensation isn't what we've been saying, but what is his real name? Let's uncover the story behind this surprising truth. The father of a young running star from Australia has something important to tell everyone about his son's name. When I see people called him Guot Guot, I'm not really happy for him. I know that Guot Guot is a disease name, but I don't want my son to be called a disease name. It's something that's not acceptable.
His name is Guot. It's supposed to be G-U-O-T. When I see people call Guot Guot, I'm not really happy for it. I know Guot Guot is a disease name, but I don't want my son to be called disease name. That is something is not acceptable.
His father, Bona, wants to share how this mix-up happened when their family moved from South Sudan to Australia. The story begins when Bona and his wife Monica had to leave their home in South Sudan because of war. They went to Egypt first, And that's where the name problem started. When people wrote down their names in Arabic and then in English, they made a mistake. They wrote Guot as Gout. At first, Bona and Monica were going to move to Canada, but then Australia sent their papers first, so they went to Australia instead, and that's where their son was born in 2007.
Guot became Gout due to an Arabic spelling mix-up by the Sudanese government as Bona and Monica fled to Egypt. It was speed that got them here. Canada was the plan, but Australian government documents arrived first.
Now that their son is becoming famous for his amazing running, the wrong spelling of his name is becoming a bigger problem. Bona is worried because gout is actually the name of a painful health problem that makes people's joints hurt. He told Channel 7, "When I see people called him Gout, I'm not really happy for him. I know that Gout is a disease name, but I don't want my son to be called a disease name. It's something that's not acceptable." This name story is coming out just as young Guot is doing amazing things in running.
Guot, the name of the new Australian 200-metre sprint record holder's grandfather, binds family heritage.
It's culturally very important, and especially if people see people like Guot Guot running and all that, they connect to the name. But when they hear it Gout, then it lost the meaning of it.
It's an amazing name, the family name.
At the Australian All-Schools Athletics Championships, he did something really special. He's only 16 years old, but he broke a really old record in the 200-meter race. The old record was set by Peter Norman way back in 1968 at the Mexico City Olympics. Norman ran it in 20.06 seconds, and that record stood for 56 years, but Guot ran it in 20.04 seconds, making him the fastest Australian ever in this race. Peter Norman's record was extra special because it was part of a famous moment in sports history. When Norman got his medal in 1968, he stood on the podium with two American runners, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, who raised their fists in the Black Power salute. This was a very important moment that people still talk about today. Guot isn't just fast in one race, he's super fast in lots of races. In the 100-meter race, he ran it in 10.04 seconds, which is incredibly fast. But this time couldn't be officially counted because there was too much wind helping him. But then he ran it again in 10.17 seconds when the wind was normal, and this became a new record for runners under 18 in Australia. People are starting to compare Guot to Usain Bolt, who is one of the most famous runners ever. That's because Guot is running faster times than Bolt did when Bolt was 16 years old. Even Bolt himself noticed Guot. When someone asked Bolt about Guot on Instagram, Bolt said, "He looks like young me. Big things are happening for Guot because he's so fast." The famous sports company Adidas wants him to wear their clothes and shoes when he runs. He's also been invited to train with Noah Lyles, who won gold at the Olympics. At the Under-20 World Championships, Guot ran the 200 meters in 20.60 seconds, breaking another record that used to belong to Bolt. But there's more to this story than just running fast. Guot's family wants people to understand how important his real name is to them. When family members back home watch him run on TV, they feel sad when they hear people call him Gout instead of his real name, Guot. Even though fans have given him fun nicknames like Goat Goat, which means greatest of all time, and Gout of this world, his family wants to keep their real family name alive. Bona, Guot's dad, is trying to be understanding about the whole thing. He said, "For me, I don't mind whatever you want to call him. But for myself, I know his name is Guot. That's what I know. His mom is calling him Guot. And the same here, I call him Guot."
For me, I don't mind whatever they want to call him, let them call him. But for myself, I know his name is Guot. That is myself. Like mom is calling him Guot. and the same me, I call him Guot.
This shows how Bona understands that people might use different names for his son in public, but at home, they'll always use his real name. This story shows us that being a famous athlete isn't just about running fast or winning races. It's also about who you are and where you come from. Guot's family had to leave their home country and start a new life in Australia. Now their son is becoming one of the best runners in the world, but they still want to keep their culture and their real family name. It's a story about running fast, but it's also a story about family, identity, and being proud of who you are. Guot's story teaches us that sometimes small mistakes, like writing a name wrong, can become big things later. But it also shows us that you can be successful while still staying true to yourself and your family's history. As Guot keeps running faster and breaking more records, his family hopes that people will learn to say his name the right way and understand the special meaning it has for them. If you like the video, do share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to the channel for more updates.
Here in the heats, and he's gone. How do you do, Gout Gout? That is absolutely unbelievable. That is history.
Gout Gout takes the track world by storm with stunning performance. The young sprinter has an incredible 2024 season, leaving experts amazed by his speed and talent. At just 16 years old, Gout has already put himself in the conversation as the next big star in sprinting. But what makes his rise so extraordinary, and why is everyone talking about it? Let's take a closer look at his remarkable journey. On January 27, 2024, he ran the 200-meter race in 20.69 seconds. That's impressive for someone his age. Most runners don't get that fast until they're much older. This time put him in the same group as some of the best young runners ever.
Was a quick start from both of those men. Leading into the straight, it is Gout in the centre. Also Thamel of Sri Lanka going well and holding on to that second spot at the moment. 20.77 for Gout. Remember, this young man is only...
On March 16th, something really special happened at the Queensland Athletics Championships. In the under-18 division, Gout ran the 100 meters in just 10.29 seconds. When people saw this race, they couldn't believe their eyes. He didn't just win, he left everyone else far behind, especially in the last part of the race.
Another really good start there, and they're away in this men's under-18 200-metre final. So we're about to wind him up and watch him go here, Gout Gout. He's already got the stagger, so he moves right on past Chase Grant, and now we really start to open him up. So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world. 20.07. Wow. That is not huge.
What made this race even more impressive was that Gout's time wasn't just good enough to win his age group, it was actually faster than the older runners too. He would have won the under-20 race and even the grown-ups race with that time. And here's something really interesting. There was no wind helping him run faster that day. The older runners actually had some wind helping them, but Gout still beat their times without any help from the wind.
All the way back in the
After winning all the big races in Australia, Gout went to the World Junior Championships. This was a really big deal because he would be racing against the best young runners from all over the world. Most of them were older than him, but Gout didn't let that stop him from doing something amazing. In the 200-meter race, he went up against an 18-year-old runner from South Africa named Bayanda Waza, who was expected to win easily. But wait, there is more. The race against Waza was really exciting to watch. At first, it looked like Waza was going to win easily. He was way ahead of Gout in the first half of the race. Most people thought there was no way Gout could catch up. But then something amazing happened. Gout started running so fast in the second half of the race that he almost caught up to Waza. When people looked at the race carefully using slow-motion video, they found something really interesting. Gout ran the first 100 meters in about 10.8 seconds, but then he ran the second 100 meters in about 9.7 seconds. This is super impressive because most runners get slower in the second half of a 200-meter race, but Gout actually got faster. Even professional adult runners would be happy to run that fast in the second half of a race. To help you understand how fast this is, let's compare it to the Olympic finals. Gout's second half of the race was only 0.02 seconds slower than A.R. Knight, one of the best runners in the world. He was even faster than some of the adult Olympic runners. Remember, Gout was only 16 years old when he did this. The only thing he needed to work on was his start. If he could begin the race faster, he might be even more amazing. On November 3rd, Gout showed everyone that he was getting even better. At the Queensland All-School Championships in Brisbane, Australia, he ran the 200 meters again. This time, he ran it in 20.29 seconds. This was much faster than before, and it put him on a very special list. Only 3 other young runners in history have ever run faster than this Aryan non Usain Bolt and Purol Bonson. Just one day before this amazing 200-meter race, Gout did something really impressive in the 100 meters too. He ran it in 10.31 seconds, which might not sound that different from his earlier time of 10.29, but there's something special about this run. He was running into a strong headwind, which means the wind was pushing against him and making it harder to run fast. If there had been no wind, experts think he might have run it in about 10.24 seconds, and with a helpful tailwind, maybe even 10.15 seconds. What makes Gout even more special is that he's known for being really fast at the end of races, not at the start. But now he's getting better at starting too. In his 100-meter race, he actually had a bit of a wobbly start. He stumbled a little in the first few steps, but after that, he ran so fast that nobody could catch him. For the next 90 meters, he just kept getting further and further ahead of everyone else. Right now, Gout is in a really special place in the running world. He's one of the fastest 16-year-olds ever to run track. What makes this extra exciting is that he still has several years left to compete in junior competitions. Most runners don't reach their fastest speeds until they're in their early 20s, so Gout might get even faster as he gets older and stronger. People who watch running are really excited to see what Gout will do next. They're wondering if he might be able to run the 200 meters in under 20 seconds while he's still a junior runner. That would be incredibly fast. They're also curious about whether he might be able to run the 100 meters in close to 10 seconds flat.